I'm going to talk to you about an upcoming publication I have in the Writing Lab newsletter, which is this publication focused on writing centers, and we're actually sitting here in the Writing Center at EIU. As a graduate assistant here in English, many of us consult in the Writing Center, which is where we have one-on-one consultants with students. And I consulted all last year, and for the first semester I was actually in a linguistics course as well with Dr. Rosemary Buck. And in that course I came to learn about dialects and about how everyone speaks a dialect, and particularly I became interested in African American English because as a consultant I had come across lots of students who use features of African American English in their writing. And I came to understand that it's important that when we talk to students about dialects, we don't just point out errors and mistakes, that we actually help them understand that there's systematic differences. And so I was really excited about this newfound knowledge, and I wanted to share it with anybody who would listen to me, but seriously with Writing Center consultants. In the spring, Dr. Kory had offered to take whoever was interested, graduate students, to the Writing Center conference at Purdue later in April. And so I applied to present on dialects and was accepted. And so Dr. Kory and I and another student piled in the van, piled in the van and headed to Purdue. And I presented to an audience of over 30 people, and the response was really great. Most people were receptive and excited about the information.
It was pretty exciting. It was standing room only. I thought about whether I should give up my seat so someone else could hear, but people were sitting out like in window wells and things. And I was really impressed that Kristi answered, I thought, difficult questions about a fairly touchy subject really beautifully because she knew what she was talking about.
By this point, I had gotten the idea to try to write this up for this publication specifically. It actually comes out of Purdue. And so I tracked down the editor of the Writing Lab newsletter. She probably thought I was stalking her, and she was generously excited about the idea and encouraged me to submit something.
And what she's dealing with is a topic that's incredibly important, because writing centers deal with a diversity of students, and kind of the tired ways that people talk about dialect is, well, you're writing like you're speaking, which is very unhelpful. You know, they can't really move past that. So by having the profession really look at this major issue and think about their own practices in writing centers, it's, you know, going to a larger audience. And I think my nagging really motivated her to really think of herself as a part of a professional community.
So I submitted it to the editors at the Writing Lab newsletter, and they responded favorably, and it went through the peer review process. I made some revisions. It took a couple weeks, and it should be coming out this spring. It is really quite an honor to have a publication as a master's student. It's not that common at the master's level, and it will make me competitive for PhD programs and jobs. Everyone is very encouraging of students to participate in the academic community, more so than just writing a paper for a class, but what are your research interests and how can you really contribute to the larger discussion? I mean, that progression of looking at language and student writing has ultimately defined what I'm doing now in my master's thesis, and what I plan on continuing to study in the future. But personally, it's definitely changed the way that I look at how we use language.